What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dissect That Film, where we dissect your favorite films, film franchises, and TV. Today on episode 84 of the podcast, we are venturing into the world of anime as we start week 2 of our holiday favorites of 2022. And this week, it's Dan's pick. And this week, he decided to pick Gundam Wing, Endless Waltz, or better known as new mobile report Gundam Wing, Endless Waltz. Oh my God.
There's a reason for that, because I know this is your first foray, so I'll explain it later.
Yeah. Yep. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me as always, the wonderful Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Hello.
No, I don't have a Gundam suit out there, do I, model? Nah, that's fine. Fuck it.
So
I don't have any. I have a Wing Gundam out there.
Maybe.
I do.
So Dan,
Yes.
you chose a Gundam movie, and I know you guys are huge Gundam fans because I've watched many Okay, Dan is the major Gundam fan. He's made many Gundams on his Twitch channel, or on their Twitch channel, DNA Gaming. And that is about as much information as I know of Gundam. I mean, also the fact that the one shows up really cool at the end of Ready Player One.
Yeah, the original Gundam.
Yeah,
Yep.
really cool.
The
I was like,
granddaddy.
oh, I know that. That's
that's
about
cool.
the gist of Gundam for me. And when it comes to anime, not much there. I'm not very well versed in anime. I watched the first season of One Punch Man, and that's about it.
One Punch! One Punch is fucking badass, dude.
Okay.
So, Dan,
Yes,
why
sir.
did you pick this movie? And why? And watching it again, like, what are your thoughts on it?
Okay, so the reason I picked this is the part of the Gundam franchise that that got a lot of people in my generation into Gundam. Because if anybody remembers Toonami, back in the way day, after school,
I just remember the
Toonami.
commercial. Never watched anything that was part of it. But
No, that's fair. This was one of the earlier shows that came in with Toonami. This was a lot of, like I said, people's first foray into the Gundam franchise. The fucking advertisements were dope as fuck, and it was all narrated by Optimus Prime. I just want to let you know that.
yes.
Peter Cullen did the narrations and shit for the fucking commercials. It's great. But this was, like I said, this was the start of it, and I always remember enjoying this movie a lot, even though I'll go back in hindsight. This is not a very good representation of the Gundam franchise. Gundam Wing is not. But I don't know. Like, at one point later in my life, I learned it was like took place on Christmas. Never really paid much attention to it, and I just got into the habit of I watch it on Christmas Day. This is my Christmas Day movie. I turn it on Christmas Day and watch it. I don't know why. I just do.
Yeah, I mean, they tell you right off the bat, it's Christmas Eve, and you're like, all right, well, I guess I can't be too upset about Dan's pick.
No, there's some you know, implied like Christmas gift, quote unquote. This was a Christmas gift, like, yeah, in the film. So there's a couple little things, but that's why. I mean, that's not this grandiose reason as to why, but it's just kind of something I've put upon myself to watch and have been doing regularly for several years now. And huh?
What?
Yes, Gundam Unicorn is a much better show. I will agree with you 100%. Like I said, this is not a good representation of the franchise.
Unicorn.
Should I explain the franchise in a brief summary to people who they don't know?
Please explain.
Okay, so the joke in the about the name, first off, new mobile report. Most Gundam shows are called Mobile Suit Gundam, or Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, Mobile Suit Double Zeta. There's a shit ton of series. That's how the show started. I don't know why they went with new mobile report. Couldn't tell you. The Gundam franchise is like the Star Wars of Japan. It came around roughly about the same.
Very Star Wars.
Okay, it came out around the same time, in 1979, so 2 years after. There is some of that space magic, so we do have some franchises have the analogy of like a Jedi kind of thing, but not exactly like the way the Jedi do it. And the thing I give Gundam more so over Star Wars, and I'm not as knowledgeable in Star Wars as I am Gundam, is when Gundam originally came out, it was I can't remember the guy's first name. Tomino is the director, the guy that really started this whole idea. Yoshiyuki Tomio, thank you. the original Gundam was an analogy for their experiences, was an analogy for World War II. Because all the guys who made this show, or most of the guys that made the show, grew up as kids during World War II or immediately in the aftermath of World War II. So there's a lot of analogies in the original show, which you don't get in this. But the thing I like about the show is it represents both sides of a conflict, because it's all about war. It's all about war, and war is bad, but here's cool robots.
Yeah.
Whatever, that's true.
You're
Yeah,
cool.
it's a really mixed message, but the one thing that this is they show both sides of a conflict. Of both of them have human beings. There's real people in these shows. It's not like Star Wars where there's like the light side, good guys, the dark side, bad guys. The Star Wars I've watched is black and white, and in Gundam it's gray, because there are good people on both sides. They just might have different perspectives of,
But
Anyway,
their
that's what
suits
Gundam's
don't-
about.
But their suits don't give it away.
No. Gundam is a lot of Gundam series is a lot more than just good guy, bad guy. There's a lot of gray area subtext.
Unless
Blah blah
you're
blah blah.
military.
This is a horrible representation of the Gundam franchise. I love Gundam Wing, Endless Waltz, but it's a terrible representation, because even the series that precedes this is 49 episodes of a lot of bullshit. So,
But this was the end, right? This was the end of
This is the
a
end.
timeline, right?
yes, yeah, this is like
I mean,
an
the way that
end.
this ended, it definitely felt
Even-
like it.
Even though it does preface, there's a little bit of prequel where it shows a few things like earlier, like at the beginning of this timeline. But yes, that's kind of what Gundam is it's Japan's Star Wars. There's like 20, 30 billion fucking series. There's multiple timelines, multiple universes, whatever.
Names for the same person.
There's always a guy that wears a mask. There's always our Darth Vader analogy, if you will.
Who
Almost.
did I miss him?
Almost.
Who wore a mask in this one?
His name, it was Preventer Wind. It would have been
Oh,
Trey's Kushranada. Yeah,
that guy felt like
Yes.
the dude who wore a mask.
He does in the original show. There's always, it's a little different in the Gundam series. It's started with a guy that wore a mask to hide his identity because political blah 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 bullshit, and used it to hide himself, to infiltrate, to essentially destroy from the inside. But there's almost always a mask dude. It's a trope.
And every time he changes his name, his mask is different.
Depends on the series. Sometimes he's named after a vagina.
Whoa!
I mean,
Wait,
Second-
what?
Second Gundam show, there's a guy called, I swear to God, he
That's-
is. I'm dead serious.
Wow, that's something.
Gundam's wacky, but it's good stuff.
Angela, what is your history? Is it just Dan? The only reason you would watch this or know anything about this?
it's him.
Yeah, it's me. I'm sorry.
I don't even remember what we first watched.
Oh, shit.
I know you introduced me to 8 the Mess Team, and
Oh, dude. 8 the Mess Team is so fucking
I
good.
think that was one of the first ones. We didn't make it through it, but we did watch the first couple of episodes. And there's been others. I mean, I have kits out there of stuff that I've built that I've not necessarily watched the series of, but I know who they are.
They just look sweet.
And
The
I mean-
Gundams do look freaking awesome.
they're really awesome looking. So
Yeah, and so not all mobile suits, all Gundams are mobile suits, but not all mobile suits are Gundams.
they have to have the
Right.
Not necessarily.
So the Gundams are the really
Well,
cool
that's
looking
the
ones, right?
main
Like the ones that look like,
that's
kinda
Yeah,
look like
sometimes.
Transformers.
thing.
I'm gonna peck you in the eyes with my fucking hat. I
know,
swear to God.
Make anime fans so mad. Make Gundam fans so mad. This is
I
like
know, I-
Transformers, right? I mean,
Well, I mean, what?
100% Transformers were influenced by Gundam. No doubt about it, right? Like in some
Well,
way.
Well, it was other super robot shows. There's
Yeah, that's-
There's
Okay.
so many Japanese super robot shows.
okay, so
There's so many.
to make this more complex.
Yes, to
When you
confuse
have-
everybody more.
Yes. So there's subgenres of giant robot shows, right? It's like we have subgenres of metal, right? And alternative, we have like alternative pop,
Right, right.
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 Music. There's subgenres, right? So there's the robot genre, which there's stuff like Transformers, or I'm trying to think of another robot show somebody would know. Voltron.
Voltron.
Fuck. So where the robots are like nigh indestructible, right? But the heroes always win, the bad guys. They're like almost nigh indestructible. But No, they almost have superpowers. That's super robot shows. Gundam is what they call real robot, where they try to ground it a little. It's bullshit. But anyway, Transformers, yes. But that's what most American people think of when they think of giant robots. They think of Transformers.
I mean, to be honest, I can guarantee there are people who never, if you show them a Gundam, and not to offend Gundam fans, but it's somebody who doesn't know them and be like, oh, isn't that looks like a Transformer? And it's like,
yeah,
sure.
That's fair.
All right.
Because that's our exposure.
The show, the movie we went to watch.
Oh, yeah. Mazinger Z.
Yes, Mazinger.
Fucking Mazinger Z is dope as shit, dude. That dude fucks bitches. And the one robot with the rocket titties.
That one's more obscure.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. I'm dead serious.
Yes.
Yes, I like those rocket titties.
Yep.
Gotta love it, dude. Anime's dope as shit. No, it's not all like that, but anime's dope as shit.
I mean, of course, this precedes a series, which then leads up to this. So there's a lot going on that you're kind of just like, especially somebody like me who didn't see any of the prior series. I was very confused on certain parts. The animation is phenomenal. Anytime there's a fight going on and the sound effects, just like anytime like they're like they got their cool laser swords when they're in the Gundams, and every time they clash, and it's just that like it's literally sounds like a knife or a fucking katana being unsheathed. You're just like, oh my god, it's so cool.
And the crackling noise of like the energy when they hit together. Yeah, it's cool. They're lightsabers. They're 100% lightsabers.
It's insane what went on in this movie, and I literally had to rewind it like 10 times just to kind of, for one, I had to, if you look away for a second, you miss like all this dialogue and what the hell is going on, and it's a very confusing movie. I can't say I didn't like it. I feel like if I sat down and rewatched it without taking notes and just kind of took it in, it's only an hour and a half, so it's not like it took out a whole bunch of my time. I probably would have enjoyed it more. I was like, I really wished I could have gotten a dubbed version to watch before
I'm sorry.
review, but hey, it is what it is.
That's our fault.
I got my really random notes here, and Dan's gonna fill in the
I ain't taking the slack, the crap for that one. That's your fault.
Yeah, that's me.
This is your.
That's 100%. This is my bad. I'm gonna lay
It's all your fault.
Before we do whenever we do the breakdown, I will give a very short summary of like the series, like very, very short. That's all you need to know ahead of time.
So yeah, so like I said in the beginning of the episode, goes by two names. It's Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, which is that the American version of the title.
They're all new mobile report. Just call it Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. Everybody will know what you're fucking talking about. In Japan,
it's new mobile report, Gundam Wing Endless Waltz.
Yeah.
It originally came out from January 25th, 97, and July 25th, 97. It was 3 episodes, all being like 25 minutes long. And then in August 1st of 98, so the year after, they decided to just take all those episodes, make them and just make it into a movie.
Yeah, and they added a few extra scenes to it. And I think they messed with the order of a couple scenes, but other than that, it was about the same. The series preceded this release in 95, so there was about a 2-year gap between this and the movies.
So there is a manga that came out from between March 98 and July 98. There was another manga that came out called Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Ground Zero, which came out between August 98 and September 98. These are both one volume, of course, because it's a manga. Then there was another manga that came out between July 98 and January 99, which was called Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Blind Target.
Mm-hmm. There's actually quite a few they did. There was Battlefield of the Pacifists. Oh fuck! What's the newest one? They had Mobile Suit Gundam or New Mobile Report Gundam Wing G Unit. They had a G Unit spinoff that came off in 2019. They had quite a few mangas. Glory of the Losers.
So
it's kind of like it's kind of like, think of like horror movies or some movies that get comic book sequels in the United States.
Right.
It's the same shit.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Same stuff.
This was directed by Yasu Nao Aoki. It was
Yep.
written by Katsuyuki Sumisawa. And I do have to shout out the music was done by Ko Otani. Fantastic music. It goes
great,
from
dude.
like super dramatic, which I know a lot of animes kind of do that with their music. It's very, even when there's like the heat of battle, it's like you got like string, like it's so like, oh my God, this shouldn't fit, but it does. And then you have like video game music. There's like, you're like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
But he has done music for Godzilla things as well. He did Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. He did a bunch of the Gamera.
Yeah, baby!
Films.
Yeah, 95, 96, and 90. Wait, hold on. 95, 96, and 99. The 3 Gamera films.
And he's also done video games. He did some tracks for Diablo 3, and he did Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, nice. Didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was singing the Gamera song.
Turtle Meat?
Yes.
Absolutely. I cannot wait till we do a fucking Gamera movie. I'm going to pick the worst one.
I mean, he also did music for a movie. I just want to shout this out because of the great title called Pumpkin Scissors. I don't even want to know what it is. I just thought it was a great title.
That sounds familiar. I don't know why. That sounds familiar. It's so wild. Okay, go ahead.
Pumpkin Scissors. So going through the cast, since I watched it subbed, I'm going to shout out all the Japanese performers. You guys watched it dubbed. I'll also shout out the English dubbers as well. So Hiro was voiced by Hikaru Midorikawa, and the English version was Mark Hildreth. Relina was voiced by Akiko Yajima, and the English version was done by Lisa Ann Bealey. Duo, I always got these two mixed up. Hiro and Duo, always mixed them up. Figured out that Duo had the big long. He had the braid. Yeah. He was voiced for the Japanese version was voiced by Toshihiko Siki, and the English version was Scott McNeil. My tongue is going to twist so much with these names.
Scott McNeil did a lot of shit back in the day.
I want to shout out other things these people have done, but there's so many characters. I'm just going to shout out the performers. Troa Barton was done by Shiguru Nakahara, and the English version was done by Kirby Morrow.
Yes, sir.
Is it Quatra?
It's Quatra. Yeah, fuck. Catra.
Okay.
Don't worry, there's another name. We were talking about Cans. There's a character named Cans, and this is not fucking spelled even remotely like that shit sounds.
It's like aluminum cans, tin cans. No,
I love all these last names, though, when I feel like I never figured out any of these people. Like, I didn't know Hiro's last name. And I know, like, names in Japanese are done differently. I don't know if, like, you know how, like, isn't the last name usually said first?
Yep.
Their surname is first, and their given name is.
Okay. And I apologize if I'm butchering these at least the Japanese names. I even butcher English names, so please accept my sincere apologies for.
Please shut the fuck up.
What'd you say? Katri?
Catra,
like a cat. It's like Catra.
Okay.
Yeah.
The voice by Ai Orakasa, and the English version was voiced by Brad Swale. I, no joke, thought this was a female character.
Who? Catra?
Yep.
Cool. Yep, I believe it.
No offense, I seriously thought it was the voice actor. It sounded. I don't know. I'll have to cut that out because I feel like I'm going to offend somebody.
No. Anime does that all the time.
Catra is also a more. I don't want to say he's just a very light-hearted, more almost comes off as more feminine, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's just how he comes off as a character. That's how he is in the whole series. Yeah, so you're not wrong in that.
Chang Wu-Fei or Wu-Fei? Wu-Fei. And you only know him as Wu-Fei.
Yeah.
Voiced by Rauzu Ishino. and the English version was done by Ted Cole. Zex,
Ed Cole,
which was Wind, right? Zex was also Wind.
Yeah, Wind, or his other name, Miliardo Peacecraft.
Yeah.
And he yeah, he was voiced by Takahito Koyasu, and the English version was done by Brian Drummond. Who was? I don't even know who this character was. There's a couple characters. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. Lucrezia Noen.
Lucrezia Noen.
Yeah.
It's Noen. It's the
The two female characters. I could not figure out their names throughout this entire movie. It was just Lady 1 and Lady 2 because I did not know their names. Well,
the blue haired one that pops the mobile suit at the end is Noen, and then the other one's Sally Poe. It's got like kind of the almost like the double braid going down. Yeah.
Yep. I literally could not figure out. I did not
remember
know their
her
names.
name.
I couldn't. I know. I got it now. It just I was like, what the fuck is her name? Like I know.
So Lucrezia was voiced by Chiza Yokoyama, and the English version was done by Saffron Henderson. Sally Poe was voiced by Yumi Touma, and the English version was done by Samantha Ferris. Lady Un, which one was that?
That was the one with the glasses. That's the other lady that has the glasses, kind of just not braided long hair. Shows up at the very end. During the cataclysmic scene inside the bunker. The lady that shows up there.
Gotcha.
I know.
Voiced by Sayuri Yamauchi, and the English version was done by even the English. Inuka Okuma. Lord. And this character, which when you find out some information about this fucking character, you're like, what? Are you serious? Marie Maya oh wow. How do you say this name?
This character's the character's name?
Yes.
It's Mari Maya Kushrigata.
Mari Maya. That sounds so simple, and I made that so complicated. Voiced by Rei Sakuma, and the English version was done by Maggie Blue O'Hara. And the narrator, which I don't even remember there being a narrator, was done by Akayo Otsuka, and the English version was done by Campbell Lane.
Dude,
wow. I sincerely apologize if I completely just butchered so many names. I can't speak English very well either, so I sincerely apologize. But I just wanted to shout out everybody who did voice work in this, because to be honest, you got to shout out the performers because they make the movie along with the beautiful animation that's done in this. That's the one thing I have to give so much praise to when it comes to anime is the beautiful animation.
Oh, yeah. I missed that.
I will say, dude, you did, the effort was there. I think you did a pretty good job. Especially someone that doesn't normally do this kind of films for just doing names. I think you did a great job.
Don't make me say more.
I know. Well, it's okay. We're good. You got you got most of the main characters, so we're good.
Yeah. There we go. Are you guys you guys want to add something before we
No. I was just it's great. It's good times. A lot of these actors actually went on to do English voices of other characters in the Gundam series. In fact, the first the guy who does Katra in the dub went on to do the dub when they translated the original Mobile Suit Gundam, the main character from that, Amuro. Yeah, the first Gundam pilot. He did all of his voices. Same guy, all of them. And he also, you know who else he did? He did blank. He does Setsuna.
Setsuna FCA launching.
Yep. Oh, hey, and the guy who does Troa does Billy, the guy that wants to mac on the titty girl in 00.
Oh, really?
What's her name? Oh, fuck. Noriega. Yeah.
Mac on that titty.
Dude, I will tell you.
Yes.
Honestly, if this is what I'm gonna say is for anybody that's never watched the Gundam series, there's like the main Gundam timeline and all the alternate ones. If there's one alternate timeline Gundam series to watch, Mobile Suit Gundam 00 is a great show. It's good. It's really, really good. It's really geopolitical. It's a lot of relevance to shit going on in our world. It's really good. You don't have to know anything. It's its own standalone series. You just watch it.
Coming from one that didn't know anything.
I haven't seen all the Gundams. I've seen quite a few. That's my favorite. That's not the main timeline. It's amazing.
I did have to ask him a lot of things. I'm like, okay, so why are they doing this?
Yeah, it's good.
So
cool.
Keep going.
All right.
Sorry, I just
No, you're
sidetracked.
good. No, this is your movie. You talk as much about it as you want. I
Yeah, I know.
this is going to be one of those episodes where I'm probably not very prominent in it. I'm still talking, but not as
This is gonna be weird.
Dan's like, it's gonna be a short episode, and I'm like, let's not hold our breaths here. We haven't had an episode under an hour and a half in a very long time.
That's fair. That's fair.
So the girl that voices Maya does a voice, and Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Really?
Her last name is Spankenheimer.
We were just shitting on this movie earlier.
Yes.
That's funny.
Oh, that's great. I love it. All right. You guys
That
ready
one's right
to talk
there.
about the plot
Yes.
of this movie? Or I will try my best to talk about the plot of this movie, and Dan will go, no, this is what
All right,
really happened.
Do you want me to give you a brief overview of the series?
Yeah, tell us what we're leading up to, since this is the end of a series. Tell us what basically happened beforehand.
You get a very brief amount of this, some stuff, like prequel stuff to the film, which is weird. So you get like a little bit of prequel to the series, but most of it is sequel. But it doesn't do a good job of explaining that.
Okay.
But essentially what it is there's a war between, oppressed colony people and Earth. And they do what's called Operation Meteor.
Mm-hmm.
So they're sending 5 Gundams, which are a very powerful form of robot, down to Earth. And it was 5 individual pilots. There's Hero, Troa, Wu Fei, a duo, and then Catra. They send them down to Earth to do whatever. They don't really explain it. They actually did it prematurely. The original Operation Meteor was actually the plan to overthrow the Earth. The colonies were going to overthrow planet Earth, literally destroy it. They were going to drop 2 or 3 colonies onto planet Earth, and in the chaos, send
Just
the
like
Gundams down.
So when they talk about dropping a colony onto Earth,
Yes.
like literally just dropping them like a fucking asteroid into the Earth to destroy it?
Yes. So this is a reference to the original Gundam, where the one side, which was the space colonies, dropped a colony onto Earth. It's called Operation British. They dropped them. These colonies are huge. These home tens of thousands, if not millions, of people in these colonies.
Were all these people originally from Earth? And then they formed these colonies, and now they're just coming back to Earth?
What it was, well, in this series, I don't remember, but with the original Gundam, the poor were forced off the planet into the colonies, essentially. So basically, people were like, you can't live on Earth anymore. It's depopulated. Get the fuck out of space. Sorry. No, they didn't get a right to choose. They were just kicked off the planet. Right? Literally. So anyway, this is the impact of colony drops. In the original series, they dropped a colony on Sydney, Australia, which does not exist anymore in that timeline. There's literally a hundreds of miles wide crater there. And it completely destroyed the Earth's environment. Like the entire ecosystem is entirely different. So they were going to drop in Wing. They're going to drop multiple of these massive colonies, completely fuck over the planet, send the Gundams down while the chaos is happening, destroy any or overtake any parts of the world that weren't affected greatly by the colonies, and then essentially force everybody to have to move out to space so that the colonies would ultimately rule the Earth sphere. So all the colonies. So So the reason is they killed Hiro Yui, which is not the main character. The main character's name, Hiro Yui, is borrowed from him. It's not important. It's a political thing.
But you can see how big some of the colonies are, like talking about it versus actually seeing it.
They're massive.
But it was the one movie that we recently watched, I think in theater, where it was just like an oval shaped. You could see it. They were zooming.
Oh, are you talking about when we watched Charles Counterattack? That was the last one we watched at the theater. You're talking about Gundam stuff.
Maybe.
They're actually based on.
But you could see them. You could see them zooming in, and it was just like, oh, you could see this grass.
It was NT.
Grass, and a building, and then they zoom into this building, and you see it's just all these people.
Yeah.
It must have been, because I didn't realize how big the colonies were until, I mean, you hear colony, you don't think that something this massive until you physically see.
You're talking like miles wide, huge, massive. You're talking about if an asteroid hit the planet that killed the dinosaurs, we're talking like fucking huge.
Right.
space colonies. So like they would destroy the planet's ecosystem. Multiples would destroy the planet's ecosystem or substantially change it. So that was the plan, is to completely ruin Earth. Like, fuck you guys. You can't live there either. Since we can't have it, nobody can have it. That was the idea. So obviously they didn't let that happen. And then there was all this conflict between the Gundam pilots, weren't really part of anything. They just kind of like showed up, they met up, they fought some bad guys. Then they tried to do Operation Meteor again at the end of the series. A bunch of people changed sides. And Trace Kushernada was like the big bad guy at the end of the series, who was leading the rebellion against Earth. And he died fighting Wu Fei with the classic line, "Thank you, Wu Fei, that was beautiful." And Wu Fei was pissed because he wasn't satisfied he was dead. And then the series kind of ended.
Yeah, and then this motherfucker goes and fights for the other side. For the side where he killed that. Like, all right.
Gundam Wing is so inconsistent with his characters. There's always people just jumping sides. And it's that's why I said it's not a great representation of the Gundam series.
Because sometimes you're like, wait a minute, I thought this was a good guy. And then you're like, wait a minute, I thought this was a bad guy. Are they just doing this to, screw over the side that they're on?
Well, instead of fleshing, that's the thing, is like this doesn't follow a lot of the normal Gundam.
I'm so confused sometimes.
This is supposed to be good guy, it's supposed to be bad guy, but they're still real people. They still have opinions and emotions and people they love and stuff like. They don't really do that. Just like people like flopped around, and it was annoying.
Too close to my face.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it. That's the summary. They tried to do Operation Meteor. It didn't work the first time because they did it prematurely, and then they tried to do the second again at the end of the series by dropping a colony on the planet. That didn't work either.
Right.
And Hero and Miliardo fought at the very end, and it was a stalemate. Well, they thought Miliardo or Wind died, but he didn't, because no good bad guy could ever die.
We thought you died.
It's like, I got better.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's Gundam Wing in a nutshell.
What was the other movie that we watched where it was the giant elevator, and it took forever for them to get?
That's 00. Where they had the elevator that goes up, where they did the video editing to make it look like the people trying to save them were murdering the people on it.
Yes.
Great. That's political bullshit right there.
Very much a lot of political bullshit in this.
It's better. Lord. It's better in other series, but go ahead.
So the movie opens. It is Christmas Eve, and it tells you, right there. And you're like, well, there we go. It fits.
It's been 1 year since the end of the previous war, which I don't remember if it even had a fucking
This is
name.
the battle before the peace, right? This what we're seeing in the beginning.
Oh, it shows at the beginning. Yes. This is the final conflict, essentially.
Right. And it's epic. It's such a cool opening. Yeah. Very, I don't want to compare it to Star Wars, but it has a very Star Wars feel to it, like that space battle.
That's fair.
Very, very cool.
Absolutely.
And and then like you said before, that they talked about how there was 5 Gundams that were sent to Earth. Like, you explained why. And then we cut to is it Katra in. They discover that there's water in space. Like they discover like a water.
No, it's okay. This does not make sense out of context because you didn't watch. So they found a meteor. It's neo-titanium, which is a special kind of metal they used to make the Gundams out of. That's what they find. He's like, this shouldn't be out here because they control the production of it. And since the end of the First War, there's no mobile suits anymore, which I refuse to fucking believe. There's no mobile suits.
Look like a meteor.
Well, yeah, but not even the Gundams, but like, why would like everybody in the Earth sphere like, yeah, let's just get rid of them? That's like nowadays. Like everybody get rid of your nukes, and America and Russia be like, oh, okay, we'll do that.
I mean, they talk about how they like sent the Gundams into the sun.
They put them. Yeah, it was a disposal block, and they were just gonna.
Which I refuse to believe it takes 50 days for them to get close enough to the sun.
Yeah, so that was the next point. Was they're like, we don't need to fight anymore. Let's get rid of the most powerful weapon we have. Like, send it into the sun. Okay. Bye, Gundams.
So yeah, they talk about how like because of peace, they don't need Gundams anymore. So they get rid of them. And it's been a year, and it's Christmas. And
Christmas.
Yeah, they some guy's talking on a podium. He's talking about,
he's the new leader of the Earth, the unified Earth sphere.
Yeah. And he talks about how, the continued peace. And then you have the women that are out in the crowd who's just like, yeah, well, it's a great line. It says it's harder to maintain peace than to attain it.
Yeah,
So just
'cause
to
that's what-
continue to have peace is way harder than fighting for the peace to begin with. I was like, that's
Yeah,
a good line. I like it.
Interestingly, like the three main female characters in this,
Yeah.
all of them were on different sides during the
Yeah,
series.
because there's the former queen, right? Rolina.
Well, not even counting her, I always forget her. So it's technically her as well. Like she was doing different things, and Lady Un was with a different person, and Noin was always with Trays, which were always at the odds. So like these four ladies end up working together at some point.
Yeah.
So yes, the preventers.
And then you have Rolina. She's on like some board, and she gets drugged because I guess everybody else is like team no peace. Drug this bitch, get her out of here. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah, they're meeting on the one new colony is where she was at. They're like, aha.
And they really want the Gundams to come back too, by the way.
Oh yeah. They're like, oh fuck this.
Like, my daddy's got all these Gundams. I want them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's her Christmas present from her dad.
Then we meet Troa, or at least that's what you think it is. Him and some woman. Is it his sister? Is it just a woman that he works with at the circus?
Yeah, he that was kind of his like thing he did to remain undercover. He just end up falling in with some circus group, and that's just what he does.
And not hear Troodon Night Train.
Troodon Night Train. Sorry, Dinosaur Train. Every time she's like Troa, Dawn Night Train. Like every time. So,
I can't not hear it.
Sorry, my fault.
So yeah, he spots some dudes outside, and he decides he's gonna kick their ass. He just whoops their ass, and you're like, all right. And he finds a picture, and he finds out about Maria. What is it? Maria? How do you pronounce it? How do you say her name?
Mari Maya.
It's Mari Maya. Okay, Jesus.
Yeah.
Mari Maya.
Yeah.
And it gives him some flashback about being told about her. That it was like this guy. You don't know who this guy's name is, but you know, but I don't.
Yeah.
It's this guy's sister's kid. And you're like, all right, she's one day gonna rule the earth. And you're like,
yep.
That sounds like she's gonna become a dictator.
Yeah.
And then you find out how old this girl is, and you're like, what? But we'll get to that. And they look into Maria and hear about Relina getting kidnapped. And I'm guessing, who are these two guys? Was this a duo in
Hero?
Those are the ones that find out.
Because Hero is kind of like her and Relina have a thing.
Okay,
I guess.
Yeah, because Duo's like, oh, of course he would go after the one he loves. But I like how
absolutely.
Like Duo doesn't really have like, he's like, oh, Hero gotta go save his girlfriend. It's like he doesn't care.
He's kind of the like comic relief ish guy of the group. So he's like, what the fuck?
Kidnapped. That's fine.
He's got his own lady somewhere else. He don't give a fuck.
We get a face off between Troa and another guy. As Troa is called, it's the fucking, what's his name, Deckham.
Yeah,
he's
Deckham.
Like talking, and he finds out about Troa, that Troa isn't Troa.
Yeah, he's like Deckham Barton. Yeah,
what? And so he gets called out, and he gets shot at. He does a cool fucking flip, and then he's got a cool blade, and he's about to do it, but then, who's the guy who like gets it? Wu-Fei gets in, like faces off, and you're like, Wu-Fei? What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Deckham, essentially the bad guys of this movie are the Barton Foundation.
Yeah, I figured.
Deckham Barton is the head. Yeah, just for everybody else. Deckham is the head of the Barton Foundation. And
he is a Barton. It's Deckham Barton, right? And then Mari Maya is also a Barton, correct? Because it's his granddaughter.
Yeah.
Because the Trays, is it Trays? Trays is the father of Mari Maya. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think Mari Maya is like, I guess, would that be considered a bastard child?
Yeah,
an illegitimate child.
Illegitimate.
Yeah, I think that's what she
is. On IMDb, it just says Trey's illegitimate daughter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, he was the. God, that's a long one. One of the big villain factions of the original series was the organization. Well, he probably fucked everybody. He's probably one of his fucking house attendants or something. Or he went to a party and just.
I mean,
Went to stick it in her pooper, and he's like, any hole will do.
That's not where I was thinking of that, but
All right. That's definitely not where I was thinking.
So you'll notice a trend with villain mobile suits in this, which they don't really even talk about in the original Gundam. The main antagonist of the original series early on was the Oz organization, or the Oz was Oz. It's the organization of Zodiac. So all the mobile suits that the villains use are all named after constellations or symbols, Zodiac, So he ran that shindig.
So Marimea is, I guess, the leader of a new colony, and her goal is pretty much to start a war to then gain control of all of Earth, right?
Yep.
Okay. And she's 7 years old.
Yep.
This girl is 7 years old. She's the same age as my daughter. There's no way my daughter could try to rule the fucking world, man.
what was her thing
They
about?
just breed them different in Japan, right?
She says that she doesn't like the comments that Relina's.
Rude comments or something like that.
Rude comments. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that she didn't say anything bad the first time, but it was like,
she'll get over
coming from.
That's the thing. It's like, I was like, okay, maybe she's like 15, like teenager. Nah, 7.
When you first see her, hear her, you're like, oh, she's older than, she's older. No, she's not.
It blew my mind. So her whole thing was she wants to start a war, bring out the Gundams again, in order for things to just go to shit, so she could take over the world. And I was like, wow, that's a hefty goal for a 7-year-old.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta have goals. Like, I'm assuming this is how Jeff Bezos started. So,
well, I mean, most of her life has been that.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. If
she's surrounded by.
Yeah, if you count even with Hero, I mean, all the Gundam pilots are what, 15, 16 years old.
What?
But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
they're all through various circumstances. They were manipulated to be soldiers at young ages.
Started.
Well, Amuro was inadvertently. He just got in there. Get in the fucking robot, Amuro.
Yeah.
Like, I want him, Daddy.
But he was young too.
Daddy, no.
He was 16, but his story is different. Amuro's is because these guys were volunteers. These are all part of this, except for Troa. But that's whatever. Anyway, but Hiro was actually programmed to be a child soldier, which they talk about later in the movie. But
wild.
He doesn't need a personality. Delete.
Literally. Relina comes face to face with Marimea. Wait, that's how you say her name?
Yeah, you're right. Marimea.
I'm gonna say her name so many goddamn times, and I'm gonna keep saying it wrong. Yeah, and she's a child, as we stated. Relina was a queen.
Yep, she was.
Really get too much into that, and
not important.
Yeah, Marimea's plan is really fucked up.
Yep.
And so then, like, everyone is finding out the fact that, like, of what's going on with Marimea and what the plan is, and everybody's freaking out because we don't have Gundams anymore. What are we gonna do? And I love that Duo just goes, it's fine. If we can't get any Gundams, we'll just steal some from the enemy. Just like casually, it's fine. We can steal some if we can't get. I was like,
it's fine.
I don't know if that's that easy, but okay. Sure. And so you find out that they sent their Gundams into the sun, and then Duo and Hero both have kind of flashbacks of, like, is it right after when they're like, I know that Duo's is he tries to blow up his Gundam, right?
Yeah, he's gonna blow it up,
but it doesn't work. Some guy, don't know who this guy is. Who is this guy?
I don't remember their names. They all have different names. Each one of the Gundams is developed by a different scientist.
Okay.
And it's just the one that made the Death Scythe.
He pretty much figured out what Duo was doing and disarmed it, I guess.
Yeah.
Or Duo just didn't do it, right? And
it could be either one, to be honest. Duo would fuck something up like that.
Is it Duo who gets the moniker of God of Death?
Yeah, that's him. Okay. He carries that some bitch around.
which is weird for the comic relief to have that moniker.
Yeah, it is. It's very weird.
Hero has a flashback of him escaping from he runs out of the facility. His plan is to blow it up. And then he runs into a girl with a dog. She's adorable. And you're like, oh, something bad's going to happen with this girl. 100%. Then it goes back to him blowing up the entire facility. But guess what? There was a Gundam right on the other side of this fence. And it falls over through the fence, hits an apartment building. And who lives in that apartment building? That little girl with the dog. And he finds the dead dog and carries it. And you're like, this is fucking sad.
Okay, so
he pushes the button and then he's like,
it all blows up, and then the one Leo falls backwards into the building and just. We'll see.
Good job.
That scene right there, that whole scene where then all that goes wrong and it kills the little girl. That is Gundam in its core, because it's like all these actions affect other people in real situations. It reminds you've never seen it, but there's another Gundam series in the original timeline where this one colony, there's a fight in a colony between different mobile suits, and it's just like they're fighting. There's still people in this colony, and there's a scene of these people trying to escape the conflict. Of course, Gundams at this time didn't all use in mobile suits. Sorry, in this series, don't always use laser weapons in the original franchise. They sometimes use physical projectiles. But you got to think something that big as a huge shell. And I remember a scene very specifically where they're like firing, and one of the shells falls off, and it hits a woman in the head who's pushing a baby carriage, fucking kills her. And then one of the people that's trying to escape grabs the baby and takes it with him. Like, it's a remorseless show at times. Like, Gundam does not pull punches. Like, it legit, original Gundam does not fuck around.
When it was Iron Blood Orphans, where they just shot everybody.
Oh, yeah. Or when they did those child experiments on people. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that.
Fucking.
But,
yeah.
that was one of the scenes was they just murked everybody.
Yeah, just going there like, oh, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't. Yeah, it's harsh stuff. So, but anyway, this is harsh. It isn't all, but Gundam does have its more grounded or savage moments, if you will. But that scene right there just makes me think core Gundam. And yes, by the way, anybody that's listening to this and knows, I do realize that Parker's calling everything a Gundam, and it's fine.
Did I? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I called that the one that falls over wasn't technically a Gundam. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's only the first five, the main five, the main pilots guy are a Gundam. But it's okay. It's fine.
I am going to offend so many people in this episode, and it's I don't know how many times I can apologize. I'm sorry.
Don't get over it.
Me telling him that the V-fins mark, and he's like, not all the time.
That's not.
That I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help.
Help me.
Him.
I need so much help.
Because it's easier to say that than to say, no, it's because of this. No.
I'm trying to think of the best way to. Okay, here's my analogy for it. Right? Here's my analogy for it.
Because you've got your grunt suits. He's
cars. A Porsche is a sports car. A Ford Taurus is not a sports car, even though they're all cars.
I know,
but that's the example I could give you. A Gundam is a classification of mobile suit. That's all it is. Think of like a car, like a regular mobile suit, to like.
I'm just going by.
Gundam is like
look,
Porsche, Ferrari. It's just a high end.
Because you can have other suits that look like Gundams that aren't Gundam.
That's true. They usually do have the V-fin. That is usually a tell. Yeah. Yes, you are correct.
Simplify it.
Yes.
So we're back into present time.
All right.
Marin Mea declares war, and panic ensues. Panic.
Immediately, she's like, "Yeah, by the way, we're seceding and we're declaring war."
Like all in like the matter of one sentence. Yeah. And Relina's just like, "What the fuck?"
That was quick.
She's like, "I can do whatever I want." And I was like, "Don't mess with this 7-year-old. She crazy." That's
a fun game.
A man codenamed Wind shows up and he said, "I'll help." And you're like, "This guy seems really cool."
He's like, "I need a name."
He's like a name. Yeah, pick Wind, you fucking dumbass.
So Duo and Hero face off against what? What are the ones that they fight first?
Tauros. Tauros mobile suits.
They're cool.
Like the Constellation
They're
Tauros.
really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then they face off against actual Gundams, correct?
No.
Wait, so the two other guys, like the two, what was it?
Okay. Yes, later when they get inside.
Yeah, when they get inside is this a base? Is this a
colony?
Colony. Okay.
Yeah. So they use a spaceship to enter the colony. There's a bunch of Tauros outside. And then when they actually get inside, they steal Leos, and they're fighting Leos initially. And then Hiro fights a Gundam. Mm-hmm. He does. He fights the Ultron Gundam. And then Duo actually
is that the
Wu-Face.
Wu-Face one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Troa is not in a Gundam. He's in one of the newer model Serpent suits is what he's in.
The one that has like a chain gun.
Yeah, like the double chain gun.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So yeah, I do like the whole thing where they take that ship and they just destroy all those Tauros. It's just like where they shoot out that thing and then it's just a bunch of missiles that come off and you're like, oh my god.
That's fucking
really
sweet.
Cool. Then they get inside, they fight a bunch of things. And you get the really tense moments where like I think it was Duo was in one of them and you think he's gonna die and it cuts away and you're like, oh, he died. Like in my notes, I'm like, I think he died. And then he comes back and he's like, it's that thing where he opens his eyes quickly and he's like, what the fuck? And then you just see two giant holes behind him. And you're like, he purposely missed him.
Yeah,
he did it on purpose. Because
they're
they talk about it
was
like, Troa, how dare you betray us?
Yeah. Same with Wu-Fei.
They didn't really do that with him though. You only got that when Troa and Wu-Fei like face off when he wants to kill Deckham, and you're like, he's like Wu-Fei, like holy shit.
But Troa's better at playing both parts. He can do the espionage thing. Wu-Fei's just like, nah, like he wants to be a soldier and fight. That's all he wants to do. Like that's his ideal.
I don't know much about Troa other than the fact that like he's not really that, like he's not actually Troa. Like he goes by like no name.
Yeah, that you don't know much about him in the series. He's just Troa the whole series.
He doesn't know his own name.
Yeah, he's the man with no name. He's the Clint Eastwood. He has to be. Mm-hmm. Space Clint Eastwood.
So this is where you get the Troa flashback where he talks. It's that same conversation he had with that guy, but you find out that the guy was Troa, and he gets in an argument with a couple of scientists.
Yeah, those scientists.
And he wants
the one that developed. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, he wants to restart the program, right? What was the program?
Operation Meteor.
He wants to do it, and the scientists are like, no, like we don't think this is a good idea. And he's like, well, I'm doing it anyways. And then they fucking shoot him in the back, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then of course that's when No Name, as he calls himself at that time, he's like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to do anything. I'm nobody. And then he's like, well, I don't have a name and he's dead. So I guess his name sounds cool. I'll just take his name. Just like, this is all a weird situation right here.
I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. That's fine with me.
Yeah, sure.
That's the guy that built the heavy arms, the scientist there. You see almost all of them.
The one scientist, I think glasses, it was this. No, maybe he didn't wear glasses. It was the skinny one. I'm like, I don't like his voice. I just didn't like his voice.
Yeah, actually,
you guys watched the dub version, right?
Yeah, I didn't like who
voiced
him.
It's okay. It's not well translated.
I felt like he was a Muppet.
He probably was a fucking Muppet. Get out of here, you fucking Muppet.
So yeah, you come back to the modern times, and you find out Hiro and Duo are still alive. They need to figure out. I guess trying to create new Gundams.
No, what they're trying to do is they're trying to restart Operation Meteor to the extent of we're going to take over the Earth government because apparently they have no weapons anymore to fight. We're going to take over the Earth's government, and if you decide to oppose us, we're just going to fucking drop a colony on you.
Yeah,
have fun with that.
I misread what the hell they were doing. I didn't know.
That's okay.
I felt like they were having a conversation about, they have new Gundams. We need to stop them. But also
it's just new mobile suits.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't, surprisingly, they don't have like a new model Gundam, I'm shocked. But yeah, they just had the Serpents, which is his new model mobile suit.
And then there's another flashback without any warning. I don't even, who was this character? Who was this?
Who are we doing?
It was this one where, like the scientist, like he's talking to a scientist and the scientist starts like ripping wires.
That's Catcher, because he's like, because he understands Catcher's like a good guy, and like at his heart, and he's like, because he's supposed to like, okay, here's new shit on Operation Meteor, and the scientist is like, fuck this, like just ignore this, and just, like go do what you feel is right. Just take it, go to Earth before, because like I said, originally it was colonies, then they were bringing the Gundams in.
Okay.
But they're like, no, just send the Gundams to Earth ahead of the schedule, so they can't do what they want to do, and try to keep the Earth from being destroyed, essentially. Because the scientists, what the fuck wants that on their conscience? Like, I'm part of a plan that wiped out millions, hundreds of millions of people, billions probably, when we destroyed the fucking planet. I wouldn't want that.
No. I hated all these flashbacks, and there was no like. Yeah. There was sometimes you're like, is this a flashback? But then you could figure it out because the audio was different. It was
was always that like dream-like audio.
Yes, and it was hazy. Yeah.
That is one big problem with the show. Yeah, one big problem with the show is just, like I said, it doesn't tell you all the time, especially with yourself, with this being your first time seeing it. It doesn't tell you when it's fucking flashing back.
That was literally the indication that I knew it was a flashback, because the audio changed. It was a little hazy. It's that typical, because a lot of animes do that with flashbacks. Yeah. It's a dream, like Angela said.
I almost wish it was like a different color.
Like go sepia or some shit?
Just go black and white.
Fuck
or
yeah.
Black and white. Do some different color, because I can't always pick up on the voice. I can't always pick up on that. Sometimes I can. Like there was a couple of flashbacks right in the middle that I could pick up on, but the first one you're like, oh yeah, this is a flashback, and I'm like,
oh,
it is. I'm like,
oh, okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So Relina is taken to a different location. Her boyfriend looks on. You find out this is Hero. I got so confused on who these two guys were when they weren't in their ship.
Yep.
And like they get into the colony, and the colonies are literally like you're on Earth. Like it's got like a sky. It's got an app. Like it was very confusing to me. I was like, where are they right now?
Yes.
And he looks on, and Duo is kind of like, are we going to stop them? Like they're going to escape. And he's like, oh, that's fine. You know, she'll be fine. I'm more focused on this other person, which I think he was talking about Deckham, right?
Yeah. Trying to get,
Catra skylines her way to, is this the Sand Rock that they mention? This big asteroid meteor looking thing?
So the Sand Rock is the name of his Gundam.
Yes.
This is just a disposal block, essentially, that they're just... No, so I'm assuming in this timeline, if they just build up enough waste and they just send it into the sun. Like, fuck it, we got nowhere else to put it, to the sun.
So his plan is to, I guess, knock it off course so that it goes towards Earth?
Yeah, so they can get the Gundams back.
Okay. It's really cool. It's really epic. The fact of like them trying to catch up to it. He skylines, he like shoots off to it, and it like goes a little bit wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But somehow he's able to get on it. I thought it was really cool. Really cool.
No, yeah, I agree.
Then I guess it's called a Tall Geese Gundam.
Just a Tall Geese.
This isn't a Gundam?
This is not a Gundam.
Oh my god.
Okay, so only the 5 main ones are the Gundams.
Wait, so the fucking one that looks like a fucking angel isn't a Gundam?
It's a Gundam. That's not the Tall Geese, though.
Oh, which one was the Tall Geese? Was that the green one?
That's the blue. It's the all white with a little bit of blue. It's got like the. Send a picture.
I mean, I have it on the background. I don't know if this is the one. It's not the one with the wings.
The Angel Wing is the Wing Gundam. That is the suit that takes this show.
That's
named after
that's Win's Gundam, correct?
You want the 3? No.
No, that's the one that Hero
uses.
Operates, right. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's okay. That's the wrong one's first Tall Geese. So what the Tall Geese was in this series' lore is it was the first mobile suit.
Okay.
So it was one that was built over. It's kind of like an analogy to the original Gundam. It was like the original, and everything spun off from it. But it was built like it's like when like, hey, we're gonna build this over the top amazing thing, but when we build the actual production version, it'll be smaller, cheaper, less powerful, more efficient. Blah, 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 blah. So this one.
Oh,
well.
Yeah, that's
the tall
Wind's suit.
geese. It fucks up a lot of the enemy. Deckham's the things around the colony, right?
Yeah.
And he pretty much threatens him. Deckham threatens him. He's like, "Hey, you better stop, or I'm going to drop this colony on Earth, and you better bow down to the 7-year-old girl there." And I was like, "Okay."
He's like, dude, listen. He's like, I can do shit about these motherfuckers, but I can't do nothing about a colony.
So Catra blows up this giant rock thing that you guys talked about to then bring it towards Earth.
Yes, sir.
Wind blows up the colony, right?
Part of this. This isn't the full colony. He does a lot of
damage, but to the point, he just wants to kill Deckham, but Deckham escapes at the last second.
Yeah, he's like, bitches!
He literally flies by, flipping him off.
Yeah.
And
his bald ass polished head.
And then Wind just sits there. He just sits there. And he sits there in the tall geese, like, all right, I'm gonna kick back.
He's just like, all right,
book.
Power off, plugs the aux cable in, like, fuck it, I'm just gonna chill. Starts reading a manual, like a love story.
Oh, that's what that was? A manual?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it is. Nah, he's reading a book. He's just like, fuck it. He's too old fashioned. Audible, yeah, okay.
So Hero and Duo, they run into Troa.
Yeah, they're in the colony. They're actually in the colony. They're trying to disable it from falling.
Troa, you find out Troa has already kind of turned back and he's helping them pretty much. They kind of figure something out. I don't know exactly what the hell they were doing. Were they trying to just find plans or something?
No, they disabled them from shutting down the oh god, which essentially is the balancing system to keep it in orbit. Because the idea is they disable that, and then it would careen towards the Earth. That was the contingency with the colony drop.
Gotcha.
But they disabled them from being able to do that.
So they get pretty much the guards, they come to attack them, and of course Troa is technically on their side, so he plays it off like he's still with the enemies. So Hero, they have a thing where like Hero punches Duo. Yeah. Duo punches Hero in the face, and then Hero comes and just gets him right in the gut, and he's just like, what the hell? He's like, if you gotta make it be even, hit for hit. And I was like, oh shit.
1 for 1.
Yeah. And Hero just runs out. He escapes, and Duo gets thrown kind of in a cell, which he gets in the brig. Escapes from. We find out Wind's name is also Zex.
Yep.
And he's picked up from
X Marquis, baby.
Oh, they messed that up.
Well, they do. It's all German. That's why derived from Zex, Sieben, Acht, Neun, Sit. Well, you gotta think. Hold on.
I'm just talking about the people that.
If you want to dig a little deeper into this whole mystery of names and sex analogies, so Zex is very close to, well, it's Zex, 6 in German, and his officer, Lucrezia 9, is 9, so it's 69.
Oh
and she is fucking damping those trousers for him. She's got massive lady dick for
Zex.
Wait a year and 2 days.
she's the one who picks him up, right?
Ma'am.
Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah,
she's like, I'm never leaving your side again. It's like
nobody can sit in the seat that she just sat in.
It's a damp cave.
Oh Lord! So officially, 1 year of peace is over. Marie, oh my Lord, the little girl, just little girl. She is the leader of Earth now. Oh, we get an epic space jump from one ship. Oh yeah, you get Hero jumping from one ship onto you think is another ship, but that ship turns into the fucking Gundam, and you're like, whoa, this is sick. And
we're in the musical interlude right now, right? Yes. Or did the musical interlude happen?
Yes.
Yeah. Where the serpents rain from the sky. on their like umbrellas. They're like they're neither they're drop
'Cause
apparatuses. They're entry.
It's taken over the whatever
The compound of the compound of the leader of the Earth Sphere, United Earth Sphere.
Everybody's walking outside.
It's snowing. It's like it's Christmas and it's raining. Fucking mobile suits. They've got their Balut systems on, kind of like we're coming in the atmosphere, fuckers. Little parachutes.
Yeah, the parachute that like, shoots out the front of them.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Really cool.
Okay. So there's two versions of this. The version has this Japanese song playing. I don't know the name of this song. That's playing during the scene, but in the original cut there's a different song called White Reflections, and that's the one I grew up watching. So when I watch this version, it always throws me the fuck off. I was like, where's my white reflections, damn it.
But you also get like it kind of sounds like Christmas music also plays at certain points
randomly in the background. I was like, Christmas.
What was it?
Jingle Bells.
Yeah, Jingle Bells.
It's like Jingle Bells. It's like a modified version of Jingle. It's like Gundam Jingle Bells.
Gundam Bells.
We're on Earth now, and they look like they go into the White House.
Yep.
And it just gets put down into a bunker. It just sinks into the ground, and you're like, what the hell? And this is where, oh my god, I don't want to say her name anymore. I'm gonna keep fucking it. Is it
Mari Maya?
Mari Maya. I gotta say, keeps just saying her name. Mari Maya.
Eminem.
Yeah,
just do Eminem.
She comes in to talk to Relina, and she has the really great line where it's history is much like an endless waltz. Which is, there it is, guys, the name of the movie.
Is this the true meaning of?
Yes.
This is the run the scene where she's like, I'm going to tell you the true meaning of it. And we're like, Christmas? And then she didn't say it.
Oh, no.
Said it. He was in the kitchen and I was still sitting on the couch and I was like, damn it.
I'm so pissed. I know it's not what she says. I've seen this movie a billion times. It was like, the true meaning of Christmas is Gundam. No, that's great.
Stop her.
Or just dropping colonies and enslaving a planet. It's whatever. Same thing.
So, oh my God. The Gundam, we get a space battle. Okay, I'm not even gonna say Gundam anymore because
it is. You're right. They're both Gundams.
Okay, so we get a Gundam space battle. It's fucking cool. Yep. They each have fucking lightsabers. It's really it's just laser swords.
What would
they're called?
What, the mobile suits?
No, what are the laser swords called?
The Wing Gundam has a beam saber. They're called beam sabers. But the Ultron, which is what Wu Fei uses, it's a beam trident. Actually, it's like a long arm, like a pole arm. Yeah, like a pole. It's a more like Chinese traditional.
One of them has like a fucking scythe.
Yeah, the death scythe. That's a scythe. Yes, that's correct.
That's fine.
Yeah, she likes it. Cool. Yeah, it's a cool fight.
So the ladies. Or one of them, I think this one Sally Poe who comes in and saves the hostages, or is this?
Yeah, because everybody's getting gassed and she just walks in with a gas.
Yeah, she's just like, she's dressed as the guards.
Yeah,
and the guards are just like, help us, and she's just like, fuck you.
Yeah, she's like, I had to knock you out for a little bit, but it's like they're stupid because the one passes out and they're all like, what's going on? What's going on? And they all get in.
Take a deep breath, guys. What's that smell, guys?
What's that smell? It smells like Christmas. Shit, it's peppermint. And they just hit the ground. They're mining space peppermint on these asteroids.
Oh, Duo escapes his cell so easily, by the way.
It was all part of the plan.
We also get the Gundam fight that continues in the atmosphere. I love how they like hit the atmosphere they're going through. And you have one fight going on by where the White House is. And like those are all happening, and then but like in the distance, you see the two Gundams coming through, like in the atmosphere. Really cool shot. The Wind and
Noin.
Okay, that one's easy.
Well, she pilots one of the mobile suits you liked earlier in the show. You're like, I like those ones outside the colony. That's what she pilots. It's a white one though.
Okay,
it's a Tauros. Yeah.
So they fight. I'm just gonna call them robots. No offense.
Please.
Outside of the castle, because that's what Mari
M&Ms.
Yeah, Eminem. Yeah, that's what she.
It's Eminem.
That's what she calls it.
Not like the rapper, the fucking candy.
I am gonna piss off so many anime fans.
It's fine, dude. This is great.
There's probably nothing that you could say that wouldn't piss somebody off.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because.
I can guarantee the show period just pisses people off.
Absolutely. I try my hardest.
I was gonna say he does it every week.
I do. Get a little bit in there.
So we get I just called it the Angel Gundam because it's fucking, it looks like it.
Yeah.
It stops fighting. It said, "Fuck you. I'm not fighting you anymore. I'm just gonna splash down into the ocean."
Okay.
No,
I don't know how I like how it's done. And I mean, the English version. I don't know how it's done in the Japanese, but they're arguing. They're having their battle of like ideologies as while they're fighting, which is common in Gundam, where they're battling but they're communicating between. They have VoIP on. It's like Warzone, like near chat, and you're talking to each other, but you're having an ideal. Yeah, like close proximity. Yeah, you're having a battle.
It's like brothers fighting with each other, and they're like punching each other in the face, but they're still talking trash. Not
in Gundam, though, because if that was like Gundam, they'd call each other cocksuckers and tell them to like eat their shit. This is like legitimate, like autocracy and stuff like this is being thrown around. And
I know, but if you're not someone that is versed in what is going on, in the Gundam universe. It's just like brothers fighting. They're not brothers, but that's exactly what they fight like.
I was also asking Angel, I don't know if anybody could explain if this is like a symbolic thing, but the Wing Gundam is based off an angel, obviously, but the Ultron Gundam is based on a dragon. I don't know if there's like a...
Is that why it's got that like really cool... It looks like a whip thing that...
Like the arm shoots off it with like clasps or whatever. And yeah.
There probably is something somewhere.
I don't know. Well, anyway, the thing is what he at the end in the English version, he talks to Wu Fei right before he flips the key off, right? And he's all like, how many times do we got to keep? How many people do we have to kill doing this? And he's like, how many times do I have to kill that dog and that little girl? And he's like, what? And he just turns it off and falls into the ocean. It's a good scene. I like how it's handled. This movie has some really good moments in it outside of the clusterfuck that it is at times.
I mean, it's not helping how wonderfully I'm describing it.
I'm not talking about just us at this point. I mean, I want the audience in this, but just the folks that have seen it. Like,
Faye keeps reliving his flashbacks, and Hero keeps reliving his flashbacks.
It's all PTSD stuff, yeah.
Exactly, it's PTSD. They keep reliving that over and over and over.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what happens outside of that. Because him saying, how many times do I have to keep killing that little girl and the dog? He's gonna keep.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what happens outside of this fight.
He'll always remember that.
He'll always relive that over and over.
Wait.
So more mobile suits are being sent to Earth, correct? These are just mobile suits?
Yeah, they're the serpents. They're just...
Okay.
Have some serpents.
Yeah,
Snakes.
That's mobile suits.
Yeah.
Shows up to help Wind and the others. Then Duo shows up with Sally Poe. And shit just gets real. It's just a fucking fight. I swear to God, this fight went on for like 15 minutes. I didn't have to write any notes. It was just fighting.
Oh, yeah.
It was just literally fighting.
The animation?
Yeah, it was just fighting. So much fighting. And I was like, well, this gave me a break. From trying to figure out what the fuck was happening. We also get the scene where citizens of Earth, I feel like an alien, citizens of Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
They're listening
citizens of Earth, just as a reminder, I come in peace. You're all going to die.
Pretty much. That is literally what Eminem's, what she states in her thing. She's just like, yeah, you guys, we're gonna fuck this place up. And they're like, what do we do? What do we do? Do we fight her? Do we fight her? And then this woman just comes out of nowhere and she's like, you're all fucking pussies. You're all pussies.
Yes, dude, she is from the series. She's actually at the very, very end of the series. It's fucking Dorothy.
Right there.
Coralina or something. I always forget.
It's so funny. She just comes out of nowhere to tell all these people that they're fucking pussies.
Yeah, sucking a bitch.
You're just gonna bow down to her, right? You're just gonna bow down. They're like, no, we're not. She's like, yeah, you are, because you're a pussy. And then she like bounces.
He's like, fuck. They're like, all right, let's go, guys.
I think she's right.
Yeah. It's a great scene. It's so bullshit, but it's great.
And after this scene, the Gundam fights, or the Gundam mobile suit fights are still happening. And until like all the pilots just give up, or they just stand down. They're like, yeah, we're done fighting. We don't want to fight anymore.
They run out of like various reserves, like Catcher's weapons are gone. Some of the Gundams have fucking horrible design deficiencies, but anyway, they just kind of like they're bested. There's just too many enemies, and they're trying to save lives. They're like, we're trying to disable the suits as opposed to just killing everybody, because they could. Like, if they were just torn loose and just killing, they would have just fucked all these guys in a matter of
But then Hero shows up with the Angel Gundam and fucking shoots straight into the fucking ground to get down to the castle, and it damages, like a lot of damage happens to the castle, and so like Deckham's fucking like, oh shit, and so is Eminem, and
I got a mental thing every time.
I'm sorry, I keep fucking up her name, even though I've said it like 10 times already in this episode.
I like how the Hero prefaces. Yes.
Got it.
Hero has an interesting line exchange with Dacom and Marimea, because he shows up like, there's another Gundam up there,
Yeah.
And he's just like, hey, Hero's like, yo, bitches. He's like, is your base fortified? Dacom's like, what are you getting at? Marimea's like, yeah, it is, dumbass. What are you gonna do? He's like, are you fortified? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And it's like fucking shoots his blaster rifle at it and just nukes the fucking place.
The Bartons are scared. Everything is falling apart. Marimea, she kind of turns a little bit. Like, she kind of figures out like, oh, maybe this isn't so good. And she steps in front of a bullet as Deckham tries to shoot at, is this
Relena and I know they had Lady on. Relena and Lady on is who she's gonna shoot.
Yeah. And so she gets shot, and Deckham's just like, I don't give a fuck. She's nothing. Like, she was nothing to me, pretty much.
We'll make another one.
Yeah. And then Deckham gets shot.
For being a traitor.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, he gets shot by one of the guards, right? One of like the soldiers that's in the room. And then the soldier's just like, well, I just did some treason.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, even the guys even call it, because originally the whole idea was that Marimea, because she's, offspring of Treize, who was the original big rebellion leader, is they just use her as a front. So Dacom could ultimately have control just through her. She's just a figurehead. That's it.
Comment earlier that she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Exactly. She didn't. She was just...
she's just...
lied, manipulated to. That's all.
She's 7 years old.
Exactly.
Yeah. No shit, she don't know what she's talking about.
But he must have churched it up enough to the guards to be like, she's in charge. They're like, you fucking killed her. And like, he just ices fucking Dacom. Yeah.
Hero shows up and he kills Marimea. He literally just points the gun at her. It says, I have killed Marimea. And then he collapses. And you're like, oh, I get what that whole thing was. It's to pretty much erase Marimea and she can become somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought she died. No joke. Until I see her at the end. Like, at the end of the movie, I was like, oh, okay.
That's how it looks.
The war is over. Peace has been restored. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. Duo blows up his Gundam. Wu Fei blows up his. And then he's approached by... Sally Poe to become a preventer.
Yeah, the group they're a part of, yeah.
Cool.
Everybody grows up.
Everybody's a part of some group that you don't know of.
Yeah, Marimea is still alive and being taken. Is this Relena who's taking care of her?
Lady on.
Oh, it's Lady on. Okay.
Because she was her dad's kind of, she always was like his right-hand person.
Oh.
Like his whole, like, most of his life. She turned to the
good side.
Yeah, so she started taking... Yeah, that's why she was at the scene where Lady Young was like, you don't know shit about your dad. I know how he was. He would not have approved of this. Like,
it's more like...
Listen, bitch, smacks her.
Or like Treize was part of the tabloids. Like, people making up stuff about it.
Yeah, because even though Treize could have been seen as a bad guy, he was about honor and nobility. Yeah. Like, he had standards. Like, he tells her, it's like, your father... regardless of whose side they were on, loved people that stood up for what they believed in. Like when all the residents show up at the end of the fight and like kind of like, you stop, start throwing rocks and shit at mobile suits, whatever. And he's like, he respected that, which of course Stakem didn't fucking tell her, but.
So everybody moves on to new things in life, and then the movie's over. We get epic music at the end.
Yep, Troll becomes a stripper.
Oh no, he goes back to the circus.
Man, he's got to have a side gig on top of his other side gig.
Hey, whatever makes you money.
You saw him first. He had no shirt on.
It's just like fucking like I am cut. Boom. Check this shit.
I gotta show this off. I worked hard for this shit.
Or he did that, or he moved in with Catcher because he had a lot of that shit going on in it. I think they had like a man love thing, which is fine. It's cool if that's what they're into.
Romance.
Yeah, well,
And I'm serious, in the anime, there was like a lot of that.
So that's it. That is the end of this movie.
Yes.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for
Christmas!
something new.
Christmas.
And you get that note Christmas music at the very end too.
Yes.
Yes. We get the great Jingle Bells.
Hey, listen.
Version.
Exactly. Remember what I told we talked about Gremlins. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast. We talked about Gremlins. Gremlins has more credence to me as a Christmas movie because Gizmo's a Christmas gift. Well, Mari Maya says the serpents are a Christmas gift from her father. So, Christmas movie.
Oh yeah.
And there's Christmas music.
I mean, Gremlins I've always considered Gremlins a Christmas movie. I mean, that's why we covered it last year. So we got a couple comments between Twitter and Instagram. Nothing too crazy. I didn't expect a lot from this. No offense. But
no, absolutely.
I didn't expect a lot of comments about it. Podcast in the Woods just mentioned about how they had Gundam just wasn't one that they were interested in. It was more Berserk. Don't know what that is.
I've heard of Berserk. Yep, I'm aware of Berserk.
I don't watch anime, so I don't know much. I know like the more popular ones: One Punch Man, Attack on Titan. What's the one that has like 1,000 episodes?
Not Dragon Ball. One Piece, yeah.
Yes.
One Piece. The One Piece is real.
Like I know about
don't
those.
Don't the One Punch Man stuff with One Piece.
No, the Elden Ring is real. Somebody posted that when it won Game of the Year. The Elden Ring is real.
Yes.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
And we got a comment. We just got a comment on Instagram, and it's by Jelanis Builds, and it just says legendary. They are a Gundam and Lego build page. So thank you for the comment. Appreciate you.
If I
could mispronounce your name.
If I could find a way to make it happen, there's another Gundam centric Christmas.
Please, can we not for next Christmas?
I'm confused. What?
0080. With Alfred, Bernie, and Christine. Oh, it looks like hamburger. That's a rough watch, man. That hurts.
Please don't torture me.
It's good. It's so no. That's the good one.
I know.
Do you remember the one I'm talking about?
Like I said, this was not a bad watch. I actually thought this was pretty good. I really would like to sit and watch it again without the fact of taking notes. I said the same thing about Fear and Loathing. Taking notes on a movie that is also something I'm just not. I'm not very fluent in. Like I don't know much about this, so like trying to figure out what's happening while also trying to figure out how I'm going to write a fucking note based on what the hell is happening on the screen. It's just all confusing to me. But definitely give it another watch.
Oh, absolutely. And like if you do, let me know. I'll send you a link to. It's on Daily Motion. Just look it up on Daily Motion. There's an English sub, the whole movie, or English dub, the whole movie. So
we have a very interesting week coming up. Well, I mean, you're going to be listening to this on Friday. What's Friday? The 16th?
You want me to add? Yes, 16th.
On Wednesday, we released our fresh cut on Violent Night.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for, I hope everybody enjoyed that. We haven't recorded it yet. And today, I know, whatever. People know how it goes. And today, as you're listening to this, I will have interviewed Robbie Walsh, a director, screenwriter. He released a movie in 2021 called The Letters. He reached out to me about it, and I said, "Come on the show. We'll have a chat." And so I'm very excited to talk to him about his movie and about kind of his life, and all that fun stuff. So that will be out on Monday, if everything goes to plan. that will be out on Monday. And then next week for the podcast for episode 85 is my pick. And it's a movie I am very well versed in. We are going to be talking.
Oh, get it.
Get out of here, Box.
Get it.
Get out of here, Batman.
I was like, I don't think Batman's Christmas, but keep going.
We're going to be talking about the 2000 Ron Howard directed How the Grinch Stole Christmas. But we're also going to be talking about the 1966 animated movie. So we're going to be doing kind of a double feature. This is literally, what is the original? It's only 26 minutes long. Yep. And we're going to be talking about, of course, the Jim Carrey one. I figured the fact that this is so short, we could do a double feature and talk about both movies during the review.
Cheater.
How
am I a cheater? This isn't even a full movie.
Hey, it's a movie.
We were gonna talk about it anyways, talking about the Grinch. So that's it. That's what we're talking about next week. And then the week after, we might have a special guest on to finish out the month of December. Someone who hasn't been on the show in a very, very long time, and I'm very excited because as of right now, he's going to be on the show, but I'm not going to announce it yet. So we'll announce it next week after the end of the episode.
I have a closing comment.
Go ahead.
I would like to say hello to everybody who got this far into our lowest viewer count episode. It's great. Thank you very much for putting the effort in.
So much. I appreciate it.
Secondly, seriously, massive props for God, it's Brett Parker. My brain just went.
Wow.
That is my name.
My brain just literally was like name gone. And I was like, cool. Not that I talk about the guy all the fucking time, but anyway, Parker for going through this, and the rest of you for listening to this, because this is a new experience for you. So this is
it was an interesting experience. Thanks, Dan. I do appreciate it. Like I don't like it was what it is. What I like. Kind of, I felt like I was a little stressed going into this. Like I felt like it was going to be really hard to do, but you know what? Having you guys here definitely makes it a lot better. What is happening?
I wasn't sure I was going to go.
Now? Angela, this is like kids watch this. What are you doing?
Oh, I was picking up Hydra out of the floor. Sorry,
Angela. That was
what's going on?
No, there. I was gonna talk about Mari Maya being this kid who comes in with the teddy bear. I didn't have a teddy bear. All I had was Hydra.
Yeah, sorry, I just got Hydra. Hail Hydra. That's it.
But it's either neither here nor there.
If you watch Gundam, don't watch this first. That's my recommendation.
Well, it's too late now. I've already watched it. So.
No, it's for everybody else. It's a fine movie by itself, but don't watch this series first. There's a lot of other good stuff.
Yeah, this was still a lot of fun, being able to joke around about it, and I hope people don't take offense for how bad I described this movie. I've not versed in Gundam. Dan picked up a lot of the slack, filling in the holes and, telling us the true history of Gundam and the series. So, and it was great. And, I had to give a bad fucking plot breakdown on this, not being super well versed in it.
I would like to say, as a man, I feel I'm very well versed in filling holes, but I'm here. I got your back, dude.
Thank you.
It was fun. No, I wasn't sure. I was like, I wonder if
Coming from someone who's covered in glitter.
That's got nothing to do with my ability to fill holes.
You just glitter everywhere.
Shiny. I'd be like a disco
what's
ball.
The porn name for what do we got for a porn name for this one?
Oh God, I don't know Japanese. Japanese have a whole different culture with their names, so I'm just gonna say. Let's say Gundam Wang first off, because it has to be
Wang,
that.
Endless fuck.
Endless fuck, endless gang. Yeah, endless gang bang.
All right. Yeah. Wow. Alrighty.
The train to space.
Oh boy. But yes, we're very excited for next week to talk about the Grinch. The reason I just want to say the reason I picked to cover the Grinch is because our good friend of the show, Darren Lundberg, who came on to talk about Jurassic World Dominion, we're going to be getting him back on the show in 2023. He has stated about how much he loathes this film. And so I said, well, can't wait to talk about it.
I can.
So, Yeah, I love being that petty person, but
think
we
it's
love you,
great. I
Darren.
think it's
Thank you
great.
so much. You know,
Yes,
it's fun to be able to joke around with other creators and people we call friends now. And so yeah, the Grinch is gonna be a lot of fun to talk about. And like I said, I don't know what we're gonna be covering the final week because the person hopefully that'll be on will be picking the movie. I can't wait. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Violent Night review. That is exciting, and also just a Christmas movie shout, kind of a recommendation for the end of the show. A new horror movie called Christmas Bloody Christmas just came out on Shudder, and
yeah.
it's so much fun to watch. It is schlocky, it is cheap, but it's cool. It's shot so like I love the characters, I love how it looks, and I had a lot of fun. I think it's only an hour and a half long, and it's on Shudder right now. It just came out. It's a blast. Check it out. Maybe we'll, if we can all watch it, maybe we can talk about it at some point. But yeah, that's my recommendation. You guys I recommend something. You guys got anything you want to recommend?
Fuck, I wouldn't think this far ahead. I do want to watch that movie though. I've heard a lot of people talking about it. I don't know of any Christmas stuff that's like not already a big staple. Oh, I got a good one for you. If you can find it on YouTube, go watch Garfield's Christmas from like the early 90s. It's good.
What was the one that you... Oh, Fozzie.
What?
It's not Christmas related, but Cocaine Bear.
Oh yeah, somebody put a Cocaine Bear. Yes, I was like, yes.
Speaking of that, as we're recording, today is the 30th anniversary of my favorite Christmas Carol, The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
So check that out if you already own it, or it's on Disney Plus, and there is an extended version where they added a song that they cut from the original version. So
really,
check it out. It's my favorite Christmas Carol. Michael Caine is fantastic. And of course, it's the Muppets. The Muppets are probably some of the most beloved fucking characters ever. So check that out to celebrate its 30th anniversary. The fact that I'm only 1 year older than that movie just kind of blows my mind. Yeah, I'm very excited for next week because we're not just going to be talking about the Grinch, both versions of the Grinch, but we're also going to be talking about Dr. Seuss, who has a deep connection with me. So very excited. But that's the end of my tirade. Yeah, that was a tirade. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much. Make sure to follow us at Dissect That Film on any of your platforms. We're all over the place. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods. And if you can rate and review us, we greatly appreciate it. And if you do, please send us like a screenshot, like DM us on our Twitter, on Instagram, or whatever, to show us that you sent us a review, and we'll give you a shout out on the next show. All the links for Dan and Angela for DNA Gaming will be down in the description, as will mine.
I thought he froze there for a minute.
And yeah, one day we're gonna actually have a fluent end of show, but it always turns into me just babbling along for like 6 minutes, and people already probably shut the show off by now. But thank you for everyone who watches or listens to the end. We appreciate you. I hope you all have a wonderful week. And until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming. We are Dissect That Film, and this has been the Dissect That Film podcast, episode 84. We'll see y'all again next time. Ho, ho, ho. Bye-bye.
Motherfucker.